Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about anecdote and spoof text. Anecdote is a text which retells funny or unusual incident in fact or imagination. Its purpose is to entertain the readers. Generic structure of anecdote text. The first is abstract. In the abstract section, the author usually begins to introduce what strange or unusual event he will tell. There are several abstract of anecdote, starting with the use of interrogative sentence. But not all abstract of anecdote text use interrogative sentence. For example, the example of interrogative sentence is have you ever talked to someone who in fact has died? Or take a guess what happened when maybe can you imagine or something else. And the second is orientation. Just like in narrative text, orientation in anecdote text also tells who, when, and where the odd and unusual event occur. The next is crisis. In this section, tells the strange event or unusual event that occur. The author describes the incident in detail. And in the final, the next is reaction or incident. In this section is tell about how the characters react. And in the final we have coda. Coda is a reflection of an evaluation in the incident, or it could be the change that occur in the characters and the event, the lesson of event that can be learned from the story. Next is characteristic or language feature of anecdote text. The first is using past tense such as I found it, I saw, maybe etc. And in the second is using rhetoric questions such as listen to this, do you know what, can you imagine? It's very simple, isn't it? And the third is using conjunction of time such as when, afterward, and etc. Using action verb such as when, wrote, jump. And the fourth is using imperative sentence or command sentence such as listen to this, maybe something else. And the fifth is using exclamation sentence such as it's awful, oh wonderful, and etc. Next is spoof text. Spoof text is the text that tells a story that has happened in the past with a funny ending that can be predicted or maybe it's predicted. So it's usually contain an anecdote, a very funny, or it could be a combination of both. Then what is the difference with anecdote? The difference is that the spoof text usually tells a personal experience, while anecdotes do not. Spoof text is a text which tell a factual story happened in the past time with unpredictable and funny end. The difference with the recount text is that occur aim to entertain the reader, while spoof aim to be able to tell a series of events that end with a twist, funny and unexpected thing. The characteristic or language feature of spoof text. The first, using the past tense. The second, using action verb. The number three is using adverb. And number four is telling an incident experienced by someone. Maybe it's not the author self, or it's chronological arrange. Maybe it's generic structure of spoof text is number one is orientation. Not like in the type in narration text. In this spoof text, there is also an orientation where the characters, setting, and story time are set. You can usually answer the question who, when, and where. Number three, event. In this section, where is writer tells the event in the story, but the events that are told are still in normal event and are usually explained clearly in this section. Next, twist or closing. Twist is one part of the text which tell the opposite of normal event. In the event section, the twist is also final part of spoof text, which can tell a funny ending and also has an unexpected humor. The purpose of spoof text is to tell an event or involving a humorous twist, as well as entertain the reader or listener. Spoof text language element. The first is focus on individual participant. Usually only focus on one main character or participant. The second is using material process. This type of text use various words that describe process, such as run, jump, climb, walk, strike, kick, and etc. Number three is circumstance of time and place. There is a clear description of the time and place. For example, on the airport, one day, in the market, at the office, and etc. Number four is using past tense. Using past tense because it can tell a series of events in the past. And now, what about similarity between anecdote and spoof text? The first, language used in both anecdote and spoof is a language that indicate past event, so that it use the past tense. Second, contains jokes or humor, so as to make the readers or listeners laugh. Number three, a form of the text or story that happened in the past and it's retold at this time. Number four, many use action verb such as sleep, went, took, and so on. 5. Would have a complete structure between the two texts. And now, what is difference between anecdote and spoof text? The difference of anecdote and spoof text is anecdote tells more about strange events that have been experienced, whether they are funny or not. And the next is spoof text tells more about funny event, so that is has a high sense of humor and serves to entertain the readers or listener. Uh, in the anecdote text is consists of three structure, but spoof text only three, and differences of both is the final of spoof text is twist, not coda, or it not have a reflection. And the next, and in the spoof text we find a lot of adverb of time and adverb of place. In anecdote we will find many words in the form of question or question in English, like do you know and etc. So that's all from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.